Good evening and welcome to the Timberlane Regional School District 2016 Retirees Dinner Celebration. Again, I'd like to thank the Atkinson Country Club for hosting this event. So again, give them a nice round of applause for our servers. Thank them. Now, as you know, we changed location several years ago, and I have to drive by the old location on the way here, and you remember where it is, right? The Granite Rose, right? So I was thinking, like, what a wonderful place for a charter school, right? So, and as I was driving by tonight, I was like, wow, that'd be a charter school. Not that I don't like charter schools, because I don't, but that's not the reason I brought up that. The reason is, I thought about the group tonight. I was looking at the names, and I was like, wow, if you were to run a charter school with the retirees from this room, what a great school it would be. You know, you know, the depth and width of the talent in this room is incredible. So first I want to thank the families. You know, you shared your loved ones with us, and you let them do what they do best, which is give and give and give some more. And so think of the thousands of lives that the people in this room have touched, or tens of thousands of lives during the course of their career. So, you know, from the bottom of our hearts, you know, from the school board, certainly from the superintendent's office, certainly from your buildings, and certainly from the community, we can't thank you enough. So thank you so much. Your wonderful career, and we so much love and respect all the work that you've done. So thank you. Now, finally, I have the unique opportunity to introduce our real guest speaker tonight, and so it's awesome. I'm going to recommend that you don't do what she did. See, so she was here several years ago, right? And so she retired, so you're supposed to go on and enjoy yourselves and that sort of thing. And so what did she do? She decided to run for school board and actually took on more work. So I'm going to recommend that you don't do that, although we'd love to have you, but you know, it's a big pleasure to introduce our guest speaker tonight, a teacher's teacher. You know, we have a great school board. They couldn't be any more supportive, the good, the bad. So at this time, I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, the one and only, right, Sue Sherman. Thanks, Sue.
Yeah, move it along, right? Well, greetings and congratulations, 25 retirees. Woo! I bring you greetings from the Timberlane Regional School Board, of which I am a proud member. Maybe you don't want to do what I did, but we'd love to have you. So I was thinking what I would speak on tonight. I got a lot of advice. There's a lot of people who want to give you advice out there on Facebook. So I want to speak to you who are retiring. You've made a big decision to be at this moment in time and to give up a career and move on. So I was thinking what I would write. And I have a 10-year-old grandson who is wise beyond his years. As any of you who have ever taught 10-year-olds know, they know a lot. He wondered what I was writing, because he doesn't usually see me very studious these days. And he asked what I was doing. I said, well, I'm going to write a speech and talk to the retirees. Retirees, what's that all about? So I explained a little bit, a teaching moment. And he said, well, how much time have they given Timberlane? I said, that's an excellent question. Let's explore that. So we got out all your names and all your bowls. That's what's in the red box. And we added up all the years you have taught. Are you ready for the years you have given to Timberlane? Drum roll, please. 575 years. Pretty good, huh? Well, my grandson, being the mathematical whiz that he is, was not satisfied with 575 years, so we had to do another teaching moment and figure out how many minutes. Here it comes. This is his math. Tom LeVay, do not get out your calculator and figure it out. 302, rounded off, billion minutes you have devoted to our kids. I am verklempt about that. So that's some time. Time that you've gone on field trips. Time that you've done recess duty, lunch duty. I'm just telling you. Time that you have planned curriculum, replanned curriculum, unpack standards, repack standards. I know. You have understood by design. You've coached, you've directed, you've mentored, you've advised our kids. You've created, you've aspired, you've inspired. How can I have a better classroom, a better musical, a better team, a better student? How can I engage them? It's taken a lot of your time. But now, in the next few days, it's your turn. And as Mick Jagger would say, one of my favorite musicians, time is now on your side. Time to take a walk, go play golf, run for school board, walk a beach, play with those great grandkids that you're so proud of and show me picture after picture. I just love that. Or do something that I have done for 3 years. I've been retired 3 years. It feels like 3 minutes, actually. Read. Read anything you want to read. Good literature, and no offense to my language arts friends, bad literature. But read anything you want. And know that we have appreciated every minute that you have spent with us. And as Carol Burnett would say if she were here, it's so nice to have spent this time together. Congratulations. Enjoy every moment of the next few days. Get out there and be retired. Thank you.
Do you know how hard it is to follow Sue Sherman? But I will try my best. Yes, we have 25 retirees, 16 of whom are with us tonight. And this is one of the special nights where we get a chance to really reflect and thank and appreciate the folks who have given so much. And that's why these nights are so nice. We get a chance to talk with one another and laugh and relax, and maybe that is the beginning of retirement. We're here for this heartfelt recognition for everyone who is here for their service, their work, and most of all, their caring. Here tonight with us are elementary teachers, special ed teachers, a music teacher, an English as a second language teacher, a guidance counselor, a family and consumer science teacher, not home ec, family and consumer science, a psychologist, a computer education teacher, a secretary, a library aide, and paraeducators. And each and every one of them have brought to the table their best. And collectively, that's why this makes such a great school system. Everyone is caring and has really contributed to the whole collective, and especially to the students and the families in the community. My job is easy tonight. I'm going to be introducing the principals who are going to be introducing and presenting their staff. So I'm going to start right away with Atkinson Academy, and I'm going to introduce Kathy Deotis, who will be presenting 3 of her staff tonight.
First person I want to introduce is Beth Fenderson. Beth was a late bloomer, receiving her master's in education from UNH in 1990 after raising 2 wonderful sons, Adam and Nathan. Atkinson was able to add her to our staff in 1990 as a special educator. She gained much respect from her peers, and in 1997 was named Teacher of the Year by ARC of New Hampshire. Beth helped develop in 2001 the dreaded merit pay plan for Timberlane, which did not make her very popular with her colleagues. But as we all know, it didn't last too long, and she was back in our good graces. One former student says, "I remember going to Mrs. Fenderson's room, which seemed like a privilege. Even though it was routine, as she taught me reading and writing, she made it fun, pushing me in a good way, but always made me feel special." I've had the privilege of working with a much organized Beth, not only during the school year, since she mainly managed case managed upper grade students, but shared a classroom area with her during the summer ESY programs. Popsicles and extra recesses were her mantra when she needed to bribe the students to do their work during the hot summer days. Beth was a teacher mentor, a conscientious team leader, and a great friend to not only me, but her colleagues, always asking what they needed. The staff welcomed her back this year as she hadn't been gone. She not only gained her strength back, but gained a twinkle in her eyes when talking about her new friend Steve. So, as you enter the wonderful years of retirement, take time to travel across the country, not worrying about IEPs. Is Nessus down again? The parents can't make this meeting, but bask in the glory that your teaching of Wilson, foundations, and reading milestones made a difference in many children's lives. You gave them opportunities that may not have happened without your patience, skill, and guidance. Beth, on behalf of the staff of Atkinson Academy and the Timberlane Regional School District, we wish you good health, much happiness, and many wonderful years of retirement.
I'm honored tonight to speak about my good friend Leslie Harrington. A longtime resident of Atkinson, Leslie Harrington was well known to the community before coming to work at Atkinson Academy. The students at Atkinson Academy have been lucky to work with Leslie over the last 14 years. As a special education paraeducator, Leslie has had many roles. She originally worked with small groups of students before becoming a one-on-one in the intensive needs program 2 years ago. I've been quite fortunate to work with Leslie over the last 8 years. I've learned a great deal from her, whether it be how to encourage a struggling student, modify a lesson, or keep peace in the cafeteria or on the playground. Our colleagues at Atkinson Academy describe Leslie as kind, funny, and dedicated, and I agree. The students at our schools say she's nice, caring, awesome, and devoted to her student. I enjoy seeing her interact with her student. Their banter is contagious. They have a wonderful bond, and I know that this soon-to-be fourth grader will miss being with Mrs. Harrington when school begins in late August. Our staff will miss her smile and her sense of humor, as well as the chocolate bark she brings us every Christmas. A few years ago, one of our students tried it and loved it so much that Leslie made it for him for his birthday and made him swear that he would put it in his backpack and not tell anyone about it until he got home. And that's just the type of person that she is. Personally, I will miss talking about our favorite TV shows and books, and I'll miss our amusing stories that we share about our families, often beginning or ending with our favorite 3 words, "Oh, dear God." In her spare time, Leslie loves to walk, hike, read, play words with friends. Her pride and joy are her 3 adult children and their families, including their 4, soon-to-be 5 grandchildren. In retirement, she's looking forward to spending time on Cape Cod, traveling to Italy, having more time for bridge and mahjong, which I think is a real retirement thing, but most importantly, having time with family. She'll be moving to Milton, Massachusetts this fall to be closer to her grandchildren. Atkinson Academy and the Timberlane District will miss her dearly, and I will also. So congratulations, Leslie, on your retirement.
Nadine McDougall. Nadine graduated from Lesley College in 1972 and has taught either first grade or second grade ever since. After living a few years in both Chicago and Michigan, she settled back in Massachusetts, where she taught for 3 years in Wilmington, Mass. Then, in 1981, along came the dreaded Proposition 2.5, which cut her position. But Wilmington's loss was our gain. Nadine stayed at Atkinson Academy for 4 years, resigning in 1985 to raise her pride and joy, Brian. After realizing that Brian was becoming a little bit more independent, she came back to the academy, where she has been rocking in her rocking chair, reading stories for the last 25 years. That is 25 years of hats, gloves, snow pants, and boots before recess. 25 years of helping students open milk cartons, yoga containers, and the new Lunchables. And that is 25 years of lost mittens, stuck zippers, and snotty noses after recess. In between trying to teach students reading, writing, and math, she tactfully dealt with difficult parents. She moved slowly into the world of technology and realized that the Moby cart wouldn't explode if it was used all day. This alone is deserving of a restful retirement. Her colleagues describe her as a kind person and an inspiration. Her students say she's strict, but nice. I know that she has taught generations, and some over the years have made special trips back into her classroom to say thank you for being their teacher. One little boy in her class this year is in love with her and asked if she would email him every day. So, watch out, Jack. You may have to move over and give him some space. As you say goodbye on June 13th to your career, a new journey will begin. Just think, you and Jack will be able to travel to see Brian without asking if you can take 2 personal days together. Or worry if the plane will be delayed and you'll have to call in. Or better yet, try to figure out your code for Aesop. Laying in the sun at the beach will be on your terms now. We will miss you. We will miss hearing about your dining out experiences. Who knows, maybe that will be your next career. Seriously, I want to wish you on behalf of Atkinson Academy and the Timberlane Regional School District many, many wonderful years as you move into the journey of retirement. Best of luck, Nadine.
Second, we're going to I have my eyes on Danville, so I'm watching you over there. We have Danville and Nancy Barcelos, who's going to be presenting her retiree.
Tonight, I am here to honor Dale Blay. This month, Dale is completing her 28th year teaching at Danville School. She graduated from the University of Connecticut with a bachelor's degree in education, and she went on to get her master's degree from Lesley University in 1992. Dale taught grade 3 for most of her time at Danville and has spent the last 2 years teaching grade 2. We've long heard that grade 2 is the perfect grade to teach as you get ready to end your teaching career. I'm just hoping that it wasn't my suggestion, Dale, to teach second grade that has driven you towards retirement. It's no secret that elementary teachers are nurturing, have a strong desire to guide, encourage, and make everything safe for their kids. We've sat through many meetings together where Dale's compassion for her students was felt and appreciated by everyone at the table. But I don't think you knew that Dale is just as passionate about animals. A friend shared a story with me of a time when they were carpooling to school. They were running a little bit late. Dale noticed a tortoise on the side of the road. She quickly told her friend they needed to stop, they needed to pull over. Her friend said, "We can't, we're running late, there's a car approaching us fast behind us." "Don't worry about it," Dale said, "it's okay, we need to stop." Car stopped, they got out, Dale moved the tortoise to the side of the road into the woods, and off they went on their way to school, and they did make it on time. There also was a time when Dale would go around town and set traps around town for feral cats. She engaged her friends in those escapades as well. They made several deliveries to local animal shelters where the hope was that the animals would then find their forever home. Dale is looking forward to taking the summer off, spending time with her family, and planning for her future, which includes volunteering at the local animal shelter. Rumor has it that she may consider a little bit of substitute teaching, and I'm certainly hoping that Danville School will be as lucky as the animal shelter. Dale, best wishes and many thanks for your dedication to the students and families in the Timberlane District.
Our next presenter is Principal Don Woodworth, who will be presenting their long-term secretary. And I think that there's been a lot said about having a great secretary behind a great leader. So, Don, why don't you come on up?
It breaks my heart to see so many of my contemporaries retiring, knowing that that's not in the cards for me for quite a while, if I can make it through this speech. I'm here with Sue Lavridge. Kathy Elliott is Sue's secretary. And Kathy is, if you know Kathy, you know she's just a gem. She's one of the kindest, most well-thought-of people in our building. She works in a crazy environment. She has about 50 teachers who rely on coming into a very small office to do all the paperwork, all the interaction, all the scheduling of every meeting, knowing where Sue is, wondering where materials are, where am I supposed to be, where are the kids, what am I going to do with the parents coming in, when is this meeting going to happen. She has a maelstrom going through there every week, and every day she is as calm as you can be. And she's pleasant, and she's nice, and she's considerate, and she's smart. She knows what's going on. She organizes Sue Lavridge. How much more of a challenge can you have? And she does a great job with it. And I don't know what she's going to really do. I know she likes to golf. I know she likes to dress up and look like $1,000,000 every day. I know that her contemporaries that golf with her say that one of the greatest joys of going golfing with her is to see what new outfit she's going to wear. They don't talk much about her golf game, but maybe that's something you can work on as you move forward. I do think she could be a great matchmaker. And I know that because one day she handed my son Michael in the hallway a name and a phone number and said, "Call her." They got married about a year ago, and they have a new house, and life is good. And every time I see Kathy, I keep on thinking about, you know, what a wonderful talent that is to be able to just make it that easy on somebody. If you know Michael, that's exactly what he needed. So I'm going to turn over to Sue Lavridge to tell a little bit about the path that Kathy's taken over time. And Kathy, I just want to say thank you. I've loved working with you.
So So I'm actually Kathy's 5th trainee, and I'm hoping that I'm not the one that put her over the edge. We've had a lot of fun together, and our days are so busy that I really do look forward to her retiring so that we can go out socially and enjoy each other's company. So Kathy actually started as a over in the SAU. So she started at the top and moved down to our department around 1999-2000. She trained many of the special ed department chairs. Her first job, she was telling me she thought she was doing an exit interview with me. But so we had to get all the logo, because I didn't really know all of the names. I knew most of them. But she started with Maureen Simzak. I may have butchered the name. But anyway, when she said she first started, there were no computers. She just had the office and a telephone. Boy, just think how calm her days were. Just, greeting people, getting them ready to go to a meeting, meeting parents, and always with, her most pleasant smile. She's always has a nice smile, is very, very kind to everyone. Next was Edwina Lovett, who moved into the position and changed the whole realm. I've heard so much about Edwina, and I have not actually gotten to meet her yet. That's one of my goals. Because she got a computer, she changed Kathy's whole role. Kathy became the Nessus guru. She can do anything on Nessus. She creates miracles, but she also is the law keeper. There is no bending any rules on Nessus with Kathy. And some people will try to squeeze in their own little information or put something in Nessus, and Kathy has her own special code. So she knows if somebody else has done something in a different way. So she will call them on it right away, and they come in and have to fess up to Kathy that, yeah, they did enter their own eval data. So she's working, she really goes through our IEPs very well too. She's like the monitor of all the IEPs. She came up with a checklist, and it's really, made it really strict for all of our case managers, so everything is in a particular order, and we can check through it, make sure all the paperwork is there. She's really streamlined the system so that everything is consistent and really improved how our paperwork is presented and filed, and just all the little.
Kathy, how much time do we have left for this?
He told me he was going to step in.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, Edwina went to the SAU, and then Beth stepped in, and that's when Kathy discovered her golf partner. We really don't hear about Kathy's good golfing games very often, but she is a good golfer. I've heard from other people. I would never go after her. So then Beth followed the path of Edwina over to the SAU, and Roz Moriarty stepped in. And Roz had a very great way of saying Kathy's name, which I feel really bad about because I had the same Ohio accent. So when Roz left and went to Wyndham, and I stepped in, I found out that Kathy and I have a stronger connection of both being Ohioans. And so her husband has been our source of Cleveland ballpark mustard, which is the best. Kathy has worked many jobs. We were probably in some of the same circles and same places. She worked for Nick Maletti and the Cavs. She worked. Kathy and her husband and my husband and I went to the Red Sox versus Indians game a couple of years ago, and they came dressed in Indians everything. I thought we were going to get killed. But we've had some great times talking about Cleveland and, all our experiences that, it's kind of funny to meet somebody, so far down the road when we were actually in the same places, at the same times many years ago. She makes every day very pleasant, and it's really, for me, if you don't have your paperwork in, life can be very unpleasant. So Kathy does have, in a nice way, she gets everyone to do what they need to do. It's so wonderful to work with her. She's going to be missed immensely, but I so look forward to being able to spend more social time with Kathy, because some days are so busy that we just don't even get to say hello and goodbye barely. So Thank you, Kathy, for all your dedication. Kathy, just because you're retired doesn't mean that you're retired from the golf league. So we'll be waiting for you on Tuesday afternoons. Next, we'll move to the middle school, and Mike Hogan will present 4 of his staff. Middle school? Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Lucy Blood tonight will be presented by Sue Sherman. So you get to see Sue twice tonight. I'm going to be here talking, of course, about the middle school. And middle school, people spend a whole career in middle school. It does things to them. You saw that when Sue was talking tonight. But it seems normal to all of us. That whole side over there, we just totally get it. I brought my glasses up, but actually I blew the font up again this year, so I think I can read my notes. So my first person tonight is Joanne Anderson. Joanne started her Timberlane career in 1986 as a 7th grade reading teacher. And in 1999, she became a school guidance counselor, where she remained until now. Joanne holds a BS in education from Fitchburg State in 1974. And a Master's of Education from Notre Dame College in 1993. A little known fact, Joanne started her career teaching at the Catholic school level with none other than Marilyn Hutnick. A quote that symbolizes Joanne's extraordinary work: happiness is not the absence of problems, it's the ability to deal with them. Being a guidance counselor carries a lot of responsibility. Over the years, she's had to mediate issues, give advice and direction, redirect, and tell people no. And that's just the teachers. Then there's the work that she does with kids. Some sage advice Joanne gives regularly to 8th graders who are getting ready to go to high school. The dress code will be enforced. There is nothing wrong with summer school. Your schedule was created with you in mind. Guidance counselors are always available to listen. Your locker combination is private. You'll have plenty of time to get to your classes in between bells, and you will use algebra in real life. So they're ready every year to go to the high school. Joanne's talent could be overlooked by people who don't understand this profession. She just quietly went about her work each day, providing a safe and secure environment for all students. Joanne has the unique ability to understand deeply the needs of all students. She has always held the door open, wide open, especially for special ed students. For instance, she is known to pick a theme each year. When working with our language impaired students, for instance, she brings in a number of stuffed animals that students are allowed to bring home at the end of the year. She finds a way to connect with them. One teammate in the guidance department stated that Joanne understands the soul of the student and works to make school a safe place for each of them. Other TRMS staff members reflect that she sets limits that students understand. She is a genuine soul. She is always available. She is no nonsense, and kids respond. She delivers her message in a way that kids aren't offended. She gives good advice. She has been and continues to be a mentor to all who work in the guidance office through her consistent action. There is no moment she wouldn't give her all, and she gets along with everyone. There is no way to count the number of awkward discussions she has had with students over the years about growing up, boyfriends, girlfriends, dirty looks, hygiene, respect, and many other pertinent middle school topics. However, They were undoubtedly done in a manner that supported every child she came into contact with, and in a way that met their developmental needs. Finally, Joanne and I share a passion as she moves into retirement that I know she will continue in retirement. We are both yard sale and garage sale and flea market junkies. I know I will run into her on the circuit myself. I hope others do. I'll miss our regular conversations on Monday morning about the great finds we had over the weekend. So one more quote for Joanne. I've learned that being kind is more important than being right. Congratulations, Joanne. My second person tonight is Cheryl Hay. I already heard reference to what a fax teacher is. Home ec is the old version, but Cheryl has been a teacher here for quite a long time, and the influence that she's had on students is profound. So I'll also begin by saying that the teacher, teammate, professional, and friend to so many at TRMS, with a quote for her too. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give the gift away. Cheryl began teaching at the middle school level in 1999. She received her BS in Home Ec from West Virginia Wesleyan in 1974, and a Master of Education from Penn State in 1977, and a Master of Science from Western Illinois University in 1983. She's been a participant in the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards from 2001 to 2005. There are people in every school in America who go about their job every day with little fanfare or notice. There are also people who live extraordinary lives and seek little recognition. They are intrinsically motivated and satisfied just by trying to make a difference. Cheryl is both a multi-talented individual and a person who, behind the scenes, makes a difference in the lives of many. First, the talent. Cheryl is an accomplished musician, having played violin in the Portsmouth Symphony Orchestra for several years. Her passion for music includes playing the piano, which is being shipped all the way to Washington State, where she's moving. When she lived in Plastow, she and her mother were members of the church choir, where she was the chair. During the holiday season, Cheryl took pride in opening her house to a holiday music party where people came and sang and played holiday music. Cheryl's joy of life, food, and music are known to many in the Plastow community. In the age of the Common Core, public schools are increasingly asked to create learning opportunities that mirror real life. Cheryl has always done this in her classes and with her after-school enrichment. She's known as the sewing teacher at TRMS. Well, what a great life skill for boys and girls. Her students have done such creative exercises with that skill, converting t-shirts to quilts, making satchels out of jeans, repurposing t-shirts into designer tees, making quilts for local animal shelters, tiger ties for our athletic teams, Save the Planet sleeves to keep grocery bags in at home. Cheryl just likes to help people. Like the great majority of our staff, Cheryl is very involved in service in our school and community. In speaking with her colleagues, they describe Cheryl as a person of her word, considerate, consistent, collaborative, supportive, giving, and fun. Cheryl is an avid traveler, having been to Alaska, Germany, England, and the Grand Tetons, just to name a few places. She will continue to travel in retirement and use another skill she has, photography. She's a great photographer. Cheryl's family is very important to her. She lights up when she speaks of her favorite niece, Nina, who is like a daughter to her. Tonight, Cheryl celebrates the beginning of her retirement. However, Cheryl will continue her community involvement and passions for music, service, and faith in the Washington State area, joining many members who live there. Congratulations, we will miss you, and best of luck in retirement. She doesn't have the same passion of yard sales that Joanne and I do, but when she was moving, I bought some of her stuff. There are a few antiques that she wouldn't let go of, though. I was kind of bummed. All right. And the last person I have is Hank Murphy. Hank is a school psychologist and has been with us for a number of years. I will start Hank's talk with a quote. It's interesting, a lot of people don't know school psychologists. You just have them in meetings and then they disappear. So I'll try to, that's kind of a theme I'm going with here. So the quote for Hank: most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. Stephen Covey. When you reflect on the career of Hank Murphy, it's easy to consider him a quiet, reserved, and pragmatic individual. Much of his work is done by researching, scoring test results, and creating reports, requiring him to be comfortable working in isolation. Hank has the ability and also the strength to be comfortable being lonely. Day after day, Hank sits in the tiny office almost directly behind me, banging out reports on the computer. Most days, we nearly run into each other as we enter the narrow hallway adjacent to our offices. Being able to formulate a student plan and communicate the results to teachers and parents when educational jargon could confuse just about anybody is certainly a challenge. Thus, the job of school psychologist carries with it a great deal of responsibility. Primarily, this role involves thorough testing and the subsequent interpretation of the results and the ability to help all parties understand how to get the child being reviewed the services they need and deserve. Therefore, the effective psychologist must be an exceptional communicator. He must have developed great listening skills in order to put the best plan in place possible. Hank understands the value of listening, and that is one of his greatest strengths. A little background about Hank. He's been a school psychologist at Timberlane since 2001. He earned a BA in liberal arts from Marquette University in 1971, a master's in special education in 1978 from Southern Connecticut University, and an educational specialist degree from Seattle University in 1989. Hank is considered a district employee, but more and more over the years, we've started to claim him as a middle school guy. Hank is a highly respected professional in our building. When asked to describe Hank, staff members stated confidently that he is gentle, kind, dedicated, he doesn't waver on decisions, always makes the best decisions for kids. He takes the time to know the team teachers and the case coordinator to make informed decisions. He's compassionate, dependable, and a person of integrity, and he is empathetic to parents. He has a very steady and even personality. He can explain to parents and teachers in layman's terms what is needed to help each child. And he's a regular fixture on our middle school target team. So what will a school psychologist do in retirement? Anyone that knows Hank knows that family is most important to him. So he will continue to spend as much time with them as possible. Hank and his wife have 5 children and 5 grandchildren and 1 on the way. They will head out to California in the fall to attend their daughter's wedding, and they recently celebrated their 40th wedding anniversary. Hank will continue to play guitar, a skill he's been working at steadily over the past few years. He's an excellent tennis player, and he and his wife enjoy playing tennis together. And like many retirees, Hank plans on traveling in retirement. Hank, thank you for the millions of reports you've had to put together, and thank you for being patient with all of us as we try to figure out what they mean. So, thank you, and you will be missed.
I was really thrilled to be asked by Lucy Blood to talk to you tonight about her. And listening to some of our esteemed administrators speak about so fondly. I'm not going to share when she graduated from college or high school, I'm just going to get into the good stuff. So I have some words to describe Lucy Blood. Word 1, she's an advocate. I could tell you she came to the middle school in 2001, and she entered 7th grade as a special ed teacher, and luckily worked with moi and some of my other crazy friends over there, and quickly became an amazing teammate. She brought her enthusiasm to every class that she stepped into. She advocated for every student every day. She participated in planning field trips, interdisciplinary trips, field days. She was in it right up to her waist. She attended countless meetings that you hear about and wrote countless reports. I can't imagine doing the paperwork that any SPED person does. But I know for a fact that Lucy took a lot of time with those. But let me share some other things about her. Faith and attitude. I promised I wouldn't cry, but I might. Lucy has the most positive attitude of anybody I have ever met. And I've met a lot of people. Her motto, her trademark, is keep shining. How simple, and yet how positive. She's an ordained minister. And the congregation at Amesbury Congregational Church, along the river in Amesbury, love her dearly. And I challenge you to go and attend any Sunday when she is preaching, and you will come home more positive and more faithful and more hopeful than when you arrived. And you will be welcomed by the congregation there. Personally, she married my daughter, participated in that wedding. It was such a beautiful wedding. She calmed the mother of the bride. I was a little bit nervous. She baptized my 2 beautiful grandboys. Faith and attitude. Music. Like many, many people here, she's an amazing musician. She can pick up a guitar, I could hum a few notes, and all of a sudden she'd write me a song and we'd be singing together. I really like to sing. She would say, sure, let's sing. Great, great musician. Author and playwright. Has published 2 wonderful children's books and has written 2 plays that have been off Broadway. And I know she's going to do a lot more of that in her retirement. She's shaking her head yes. Adventurer. Along with Deb and their 2 sons, they've hiked, they've camped, they've canoed, they've kayaked, they've sailed. I think a lot of different places, mostly around the Cape. But here's a really interesting thing you should know about her. In her later years, she has become a triathlete and recently went to London, England, and participated, representing the United States of America, in an international triathlete competition at age 60. Okay, now Timberlane Middle School, I need you. You ready? And my favorite thing to tell you about Lucy is her spirit. Now, the middle school, I know, is a little weird over there, and we have spirit days. Anything that we can do to just do something a little crazy. So, Lucy participates faithfully, doesn't she, gang, in every Spirit Day. So get those bags open. We are having a spirit event. She always jumps the gun over there. All right. Red Sox Day. Luau Day. Wait, I gotta get mine on. Get those on. Color Day. Here's my favorite, Superhero Day. Crazy Hat Day. And last but not least, we're making this up, Big Sunglasses Day. As you can see, I know we're a little wacky, but we love those times. She always made kids feel important. If a kid needed something for Spirit Day, she'd take off her own sunglasses or take off her own hero mask and make sure a student had one. Kind, helpful, funny, great laugh. She has an amazing laugh. On behalf of Timberlane Middle School, Lucy Blood, you keep on shining.
I like those tiaras over there. Perfect. We have one more school. Michelle wanted me to say they saved the best for last, but I can't say that. I just know that Pollard Elementary has 7 retirees, and I think they're all over here somewhere, right? So, Michelle Orser.
I thought I wasn't going to need them, but it's kind of dark. Sorry. I have to tell you that I'm a bit nervous about saying too much about this first retiree, because for the first 8 or 9 years that I have known her, I thought she was part of the FBI's Witness Protection Program. She would not let me add her name or her phone number to the school phone tree, because then her phone number would be out there. We could not add her to our school monthly birthday announcement, and she always self-shredded before she put documents into our shredding box. Gretchen Bird Sorrigan, Bunny, or whatever your name is. I will do my best not to give too much information. Gretchen started teaching in 1976 in Georgetown, Massachusetts, until in 1989 she was hired to teach music here at Pollard. Other than taking 2 years off for maternity leave while she had her 2 daughters, Gretchen has been teaching for 38 years. Her beautiful singing voice has blessed our Pollard halls for the past 27 years. She has led our 4th and 5th grade chorus, assisted with our kindergarten and our 2nd grade musicals, and I am sure she has taught thousands of 3rd graders to play the recorder. She has volunteered for so many Pollard events, conducted hundreds of Pollard choral concerts, and is quick to help out a fellow teacher or staff member in need. Gretchen has many plans after she retires, but most importantly, she will be spending lots of time with her 2 granddaughters, Nora and Anna, both true blessings for both Gretchen and her husband, Dennis. She also mentioned that she wants to spend time with her family in Bartlett, New Hampshire, but I'm not going to tell them the address, Gretchen. We wish you the best in your retirement, Gretchen. Congratulations. Marie Champion. In 2006, I found myself in need of a special education teacher. On the day of the interviews, Marie hobbled in. She had a cast on her foot at the time. She had a big smile on her face and gave me all the right answers. She had retired from Massachusetts already, and I found out later she was really just seeing if she was still marketable. Needless to say, she was just what we were looking for, so we hired her, and the rest was history. Marie was willing to teach any grade and any program at any time. She was a worker bee and a team player. If there was a training or a workshop available, she was signed up before I could finish explaining it. She was full of energy, always had a story to tell or a hug to give. You may notice in a moment when she gets up that Marie is the most relaxed retiree that we are celebrating tonight. Right after school let out this last June, Marie and her husband Gordon, or better known as Gordy, went on a trip. When she landed, it hit her, and she said she was done. After ensuring Gordy that it wasn't her marriage that she was done with, but teaching, she then came and told me the news. So quickly, just as quickly as she had come into our lives here at Pollard, she left. Marie has been traveling already and hopes I lost it. And hopes to continue to travel as well as to spend time with all of her grandchildren. She also got really excited, like only Marie can, about possibly volunteering at a musical instrument museum in Arizona, where she spends her winters. I think that this is the perfect way to use some of that energy up, and I am sure you will be as wonderful at that as you have been with all of the children lucky enough to have had you as a teacher. Thank you, and congratulations. Patty Fogarty, or Patricia Fogarty. In 1985, with 3 children, a divorce, and a return to New Hampshire from Texas, all under her belt, Patty Fogarty found herself unsure of what to do to support her family. Encouraged by her family, she returned to college in 1987 to complete her bachelor's in elementary education. She received her diploma in June of 1989. That year, she was hired at Danville Elementary and taught 5th grade for 5 years, then 2nd grade for 2 years, which proved to Patty that she was better suited for the upper grades. She moved back to 4th grade and then looped with them to 5th grade, an awesome experience, she says. She then became the enrichment teacher for 1 year. Then she moved to Washington, D.C. to teach and eventually returned to New Hampshire and was hired in 2006 at Pollard to teach technology. And as she puts it, the rest is history. Patty has been a member of numerous school and district committees, including leadership team for the Strategic Planning Committee, negotiation team, the District Technology Committee, the Evaluation Committee, Pollard's Universal and Leadership Committee. She was also our student council advisor for many years, and she oversaw, she's still until next week, I think we just got that email, right, Patty? Our We Deliver school system, mail system. Patty told me that she wanted to thank everyone here at Timberlane that has helped her throughout her years. Her life is enriched from knowing and working with all of you. Some things that Patty mentioned that she wants to do when she retires: to go grocery shopping on a Tuesday morning when no one else is there, book airline tickets from Tuesday to Tuesday, go to lectures and guided tours in art museums and historical homes with beautiful gardens, drive to her daughters in DC and not have to worry about traveling back in traffic on 95 on a Sunday evening, And as someone once told her, you can plan your weeks by what you want to do and not by what you have to do. Congratulations, Patty. All right, I'm going to start this one by saying that I was tutored in some of the pronunciations that you're about to hear me totally ruin and destroy, okay? Dina Colorinko. Dina Kay, as we all know and love her. First, a little bit about Dina. She was born in Ukraine, and she graduated from the Pedagogical College of Foreign Language in 1970. She married her husband, Mikhail, in 1968, she refers to as God's gift for her to keep, and that is why he got a life sentence without parole. She has 2 children, her daughter Irina and son Tamir. But her biggest joy of all is her granddaughter, Karina. Dina Kay started at the Timberlane District working part-time in 1997 and was then hired full-time in 2000 as our ESOL teacher. For most of her years here, she was only the ESOL teacher servicing grades 1 through 12. She jokes that during those very busy years, she was often referred to as the unknown flying object. That isn't too far from the truth. I remember my first few years, when I saw her, I was thinking, who was that? Dina was always a very flexible educator, as her spot to work with her students, at least at Pollard, could often change at a moment's notice. She would just put a smile on her face and find another location to instruct her students. There is much that one can learn from Dina. Most impressive is her ability to pack lightly. In 1993, she came to the United States with 4 suitcases, 1 suitcase for each member of her family. She is a wonderful cook and makes all of her delicious meals from farm fresh foods. She loves to dance, sing, listen to music, play the piano, read books, take long walks, and travel. All things I am sure she will do more of when she retires. Although she did share with me that she's already lined up work. She will be working 2 evenings and 2 days in Derry. Although we will miss her, we do wish her lots of, oh my God, I'm having a mess up here. We wish you well and hope you enjoy your time with your family, Dina. Congratulations. Candia La Rochelle started subbing at Pollard School until she was finally hired in March of 1988 as an assistant to Tish Gallagher's first grade classroom. Over the years, she has held many support staff positions, including working in the Writing to Read Lab, the Waterford Lab, Reading Para in the classroom, ASD Para, Para, as well as technology aide in charge of printer cartridges and giving technical assistance to staff. 12 years ago, she was transferred to the library and has been assistant ever since. One might say that Pollard is in Candia's family. All 3 of her children, Christy, Amy, and Rob, which are joining her tonight, along with her husband Bob, went to Pollard School and then continued on to the middle school and high school. Starting next year, one of her grandchildren will be starting preschool here at Pollard in the fall. Candia's creativity, organizational skills, and caring personality have helped our busy library flourish. Whether it be a request for a tall book with a blue cover about a bear, a long line of talkative patrons waiting to check out, students needing help navigating computer resources, or a cart full of books that need to be shelved. Candy is not daunted. She is on it, and the job is always done, and done well. She has made a tremendous difference in the lives of Pollard School readers. Candia plans to travel and visit with old friends after she retires, but I did remind her that she does have a grandson coming to Pollard in the fall, so she needs to come back to volunteer. We will miss you, Candia, but wish you the best of everything. Nancy Lindquist. Nancy graduated from Northern Illinois University in 1974, and after graduation got engaged to her husband David, who then moved her to Andover, Massachusetts, where they still live today. Later on in her career, she earned her master's in reading and language arts. Nancy has been a teacher at Pollard School for 42 years. She has taught first, second, third grade, a 1-2 looping class, and a 2-3 looping class. Her contributions to the Timberlane District and Pollard School are just too numerous to name, but here are just a few highlights. She was a member of our district's first technology committee. That was a time when about Apple IICs we figured out were around, if anyone can remember back then. She has been a member of the district reading and language arts committees, the social studies and science committees. At Pollard, she has sat on the universal team and our wellness sunshine committees. She was a first grade team leader, and she has been a third grade teacher in charge of planning and organizing the field trips for almost 15 years. When a parent comes to register their children, and they themselves have also attended Pollard, one of the first names they ask about is Mrs. Lindquist. She has many wonderful memories of her students, including one of her first grade star students, Dean Zanello. Nancy is the most poised and professional teacher that I have ever had the privilege to know. She understands the importance of rules and procedures and follows them without question, sometimes to a fault. At one point, 6 or 7 years ago, we were having a lockdown drill. An administrator went door to door to make sure all the doors were locked. Hers was not. And when she was told to lock the door, Nancy quietly did so. After the drill, Nancy called the office and asked for the nurse to come to her room. She had apparently fallen and dislocated her shoulder when she was moving the children to the lockdown area. Nancy is looking forward to doing things on her own schedule, like go to the gym or just having time to herself. Of course, that's when she's not selling homes. She told me she won't miss doing report cards on weekends, and I'm sure there are many other things that you won't miss in regards to planning. We want to congratulate Nancy for her 42 years, and that's quite a commitment, and you should be proud. Congratulations. In 1989, Cindy was hired for 1 year as a regular ed assistant at Pollard to work with a third grade classroom. At the end of that year, she subbed at Pollard as well as worked a few hours a day as a recess monitor. Then in 1991, Cindy was hired to work as a teacher assistant at Pollard School. She has seen many staff changes and helped thousands of students during this time. She has been the unofficial welcome wagon for all the new Pollard paras. She has tried to show new staff the ropes and get them acclimated to the job and the building. During all of my time here, I can say one thing about Cindy. She's all about the kids. She is constantly trying to find new ways to motivate or assist the children she works with. Although the job of assistant has changed throughout the tenure, Cindy has been able to adjust each time to a change. Now, I'm not just saying that at times I didn't hear some resistance. I did. But in the end, it is all about the children with her. She has a way about her that makes even the most difficult students listen to her. Maybe because she leads by example. Cindy has been walking to work long before our bike and walk to school days. She knows the rules of the games children play at recess and isn't afraid to enforce them. Cindy has lots of things planned, but none of them involve too much relaxing. She plans to spend lots of time with her grandson Chase, but was very quick to add she's not babysitting. She wants to travel around the USA, take long walks, and go on long rides on the back of her husband Dave's motorcycle. We wish you safe travels and please enjoy your retirement.
Before we say good evening, we'd like to take this opportunity to recognize 9 other retirees that are not with us this evening celebrating, but certainly are with us in their hearts. They represent over 200 of those 575 years that Sue Sherman was talking about earlier. So first, Elizabeth Percival Bluen. She was a technology specialist at Danville Elementary, and she was with us for 16 years. Gloria Karen, you want to do one at a time? Gloria Karen, a special education teacher at the middle school with 24 years of service. Kathleen Charmansky, an elementary teacher at Danville with 17 years of service. Janet Canagnon, a special education paraeducator at Sandown North with 13 years of service. Dan Donnellan, social studies teacher at the high school with 30 years of service. John Holland, a technology director with the district, and he spent 36 years with us. Kathy Kean, secretary at Danville Elementary School, and she served us with 23 years of service. Eileen O'Connor, special education paraeducator at the middle school, and that was 20 years of service. And finally, Patricia Smith, she's a custodian at Sandown Central, and she was there for 30 years. And in closing, this service, as well as your service to the children in our district, is very much appreciated. We certainly thank the families. We certainly thank the presenters. They did a great job. Have a great evening, and thank you very much.